Hey there everybody, how's it going? Nice to see you again. Thanks for coming out today. So I'm right in the middle of town, and I'm right by the little river that runs through the middle of town, and it's 40 degrees, but it's still a little chilly, but whatever. And so I put the gloves on. So I'm excited to get out. I'm just getting over a cold. I picked it up last Saturday, and today's Wednesday, and I'm feeling better. So I wanted to get out and test the old new photo system here. And I'm using the A7C II to do the video, and I'm filming this in S-Log3 and color grading it, which is something new for me, and that's kind of exciting. And I don't know why it's making sense with the Sonys, but it is. And by the way, it's not Sony, it's So New York, which normally I would be opposed to, but being originally from New York, it's like getting back to my roots in a weird way. So I'm enjoying using the So New York cameras. And so what happened? Well, I've had my eye on the A7R5 for a long time, and I kind of knew, like I knew when I was fooling around with the A7R4, originally when I got the A7R3, like 2 years ago, like it wasn't there. It was Swiss cheese camera. There were holes everywhere. Like you dive into those menus and it's like the menus were clunky, and it only had the one-way flip screen. And you dive into the menus and you know the menus were there, but you couldn't do anything that you wanted to do. There were no aspect ratios. I mean, for me personally, this is for what I need a camera to do, right? And so yeah, A7R3 did not like that at all. And just for me, I mean, the images were fine. The high resolution, you know, the colors were weird. I'll give it that. But I could have made it work. I mean, you know, I can make any camera from the last 10 years work. But the question is, you know, do I want to put up with it? So then a year later, I jumped back in with the A7 IV and A7R4 combination. And I was really impressed by the A7 IV. Like the new menus and the speed of the camera, and it had the fully articulating screen. Like that was a huge leap forward for Sony. Like I could have lived with the A7 IV, but the A7R4 was the landscape high megapixel choice. And honestly, that was incremental. You know, that was like an A7R3S model or something. It wasn't really a big leap forward, I don't think. I mean, they added aspect ratios, but you still had that lousy screen that only, it was, you know, it was okay. But they finally updated the screen to like 2.4 million dots or something, which a high resolution camera should have. But the A7 IV, I was like, I could live with this camera. This was good, but I needed the full system, right? So when the A7R5 came out, I was kind of curious in the sense that ever since it came out, like if they had made as big a leap forward with the A7R5 that they did with the A7 IV, like I would really enjoy that camera. And then to add to that, the four-dimensional articulating screen on the back of the A7R5, that looked like exactly what I wanted. So I was cooking along. I'm happy with my Fujis. And then I kind of saw some videos over the holiday season of the A7C II. And I liked the original A7C, but when I got one, I sent it back immediately because it just, again, there were holes. It was just not what I wanted. It just was a clunky interface and poor ergonomics with one wheel. Everything was your thumb in the back, and other people have said that. But again, they made a huge leap forward with the A7C II. And in my opinion, for what I like and for what I'm doing, they've surpassed Fuji at this point. So over the holidays, I ordered an A7C II and took a look at it and immediately fell in love with it. I liked it so much, a day later I ordered the A7R5. And it was on sale also, which is always a good thing. So, and when the A7R5 came, yeah, that's it, you know. Like I've tried a bunch of cameras since 2018. I don't know what happened before then, but let's just say 2018, because I know I've had the same Fuji X-T3 since 2018. And I've tried a bunch of cameras, you know, trying to see if there's something better. I've always wanted a little bit more smoothness and resolution. The 40 megapixel sensor kind of solved the resolution issue, but the smoothness, you know, that's a full frame thing. And if you know what, you know, if you've shot a larger format sensor, you know what I'm talking about. So having tried all those different cameras, Nikon Z7 II, Z6 II, A7R3, A7R4, A7 IV, A7C, like, and dismissing all of them as cameras that aren't ready yet, honestly, in my opinion, for what I want, to do, and that's what this is all about. I really know what I want, right? I really know the specific details of what I'm looking for, and I'm very picky. I totally get that. Like I said, I can do anything I want to do with any camera made in the last 10 years. Peak camera was 10 years ago. But I knew immediately when I saw the A7C2 and the A7R5, this is it. This is what I've been looking for. I'm there. Okay? So yeah, I'm saying it now. I'm switching. This is the first time in a long time, like there's no question about it. Like the Fujis are all up for sale, and I've got an A7C2 and an A7R5. And right now I have 2 lenses, and that's all I need really, except for I need a better video lens. But I have 3 lenses really. The Samyang 35-2.8, which is whatever. I mean, it's cheap, but it works, and it's doing it right now. And then I have the Sony 20-70 f4, which is absolutely a brilliant lens. And another thing that I've had my eye on, and like that was the perfect lens. And the reviews on that lens were spectacular. And the lens is spectacular. And then the Tamron 100-300, whatever it is, very inexpensive lens, very sharp, and fantastic lens for the money. And those 2 lenses are all I need. It's actually a smaller and lighter kit than my Fuji system. And if the A7R5 wasn't so expensive, it'd be cheaper too. So I'd like to add the a 35 for video and maybe a 24 for video. And I probably could add the 50-400 Tamron. I wouldn't bring it with me all the time, but for the price of the Tamron lenses, Mads Peter Iverson uses the 50-400. It's like $1,100 on sale, and it's always on sale. You know, and then $500 for the 100-300. I got 2 of those and still save $1,000 over the Nikon 100-400 or the Sony 100-400. So that's fantastic value for money there. This cold is terrible. I've got a Hall's throat lozenge in because I'm choking here trying to talk. But I'm going to take a couple of shots, and these are just test shots. You know, I did a shot over there the other night, about a month ago, but this is the middle of the day. I'm just playing because it's close to home, and I just want to see what the A7R5 will do in the new lenses, etc. So, and there's another tree back here I've always wanted to photograph, and maybe there's some other stuff around. So that's what I'm going to do, and it's, you know, like I said, I'm right in the middle of town, so this is what it is. But at least I'm out and I'm photographing, which is better than sitting at home staring at my computer, right? Okay, let's go do it. So the building right there is the local market, and the sign way up top, up there, that's old, says it used to be the furniture store and the undertakers. So I find it interesting that it's now a grocery store when it used to be an undertaker's. But hey, that's life in the Old West, right? Okay, so I did a couple straight up, and I did a couple square and black and white, and let's see how they turn out. So yeah, for 2024, I'm pretty excited. I got some trips coming up too. 2023 was kind of a weird year for us. In December, we had this semi-feral cat that was on our back deck. And in December of 2022, we caught her and we took her to the vet to make sure she was fixed. And the vet absolutely assured us that she was a fixed kitty and we had nothing to worry about. Well, in March of 2023, she brought us her 2 kittens on the back deck. And so we rounded them all up and we took them into the back bathroom and they lived there for the 3 or 4 months. And then, so all of 2023, we've been kind of grounded because we've been taking care of these kittens. And they're now part of the family and it's wonderful and it's a real blessing and I'm happy to have them. Max and Zelda, and we even brought the mom into, her name's Shadow. And so, and Shadow's not feral anymore. She's really a sweetheart. So, so that was 2023. We kind of stayed home, fixed up the house, that kind of thing. And we took some day trips, so we didn't really go anywhere overnight. But they're grown up now. They're a year old in March, and everybody's one big happy family. So to make a long story short, I'm starting to plan my trips for 2024. The end of March, we're going to the Columbia River Gorge for 2 days. And then any weekend that the weather permits, we're gonna sneak off to the Alvord Desert in a very remote part of Oregon, southeast Oregon. Not too many people get there. So we're gonna go there for a night or two and scope that out. And then I'm thinking of like, I don't know, beginning in middle of July, Crater Lake National Park. And probably Stanley in September because that's one of my favorites as well. I might even sneak in a longer trip out to the Grand Tetons in Wyoming and Yellowstone Park, and we'll see what we can do. So yeah, this year is going to be an interesting photography year. The Oregon coast is always on my radar, but for some reason from where I live, that's just a difficult place to get to. So anyway. So that's my planning for 2024. Hey, thanks for coming out today. It was a local trip, a short trip, but I just wanted to, you know, get these cameras out there and give them a quick try and let y'all know what I'm doing. Another thing I'm going to try to do for 2024 is I'm going to try to post a video every Thursday. Now, don't hold me to that. I might skip a week here and there, but I'm going to try to make interesting and relevant content of traveling or whatever. Something that interests me, that might interest you guys for 2024. Thursdays, 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's what I'm shooting for. Hey, it's a New Year's resolution, and resolutions are meant to be broken. Anyway, thanks for coming out. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. But that's the #1 thing you can do to help out a small channel if you want to see more content from small channels. So I really appreciate it. Have a great one. We'll see you out here. Bye.